by using the report, by using this report, any report, by using the report output, we cannot edit the data. We cannot edit the only view purpose. So by using the report output, we cannot edit the data. We cannot edit the data. Only view purpose. Only view purpose. Okay. So example, guys. Example, when we purchase a laptop. They will give the invoice or bill. So they will give the invoice or bill. So this invoice or bill we cannot edit, right? When we purchase the laptop, they will give the company, like showroom people will give the invoice, right? That invoice we cannot edit, right? So that is called report. And one more example, when we book the IRCTC train ticket, we will give get printout, right? So this is also one of the report. Understand it? What I mean by report?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Vamshi, how
Yeah.
it is useful to us in real time reports?
Reports, how?
It is useful to us because we cannot edit or we cannot fit,
Yeah, only for view purpose. Only for view purpose. So, for example, in the real time, you can take IRCTC train ticket. How you can useful for this ticket? When you board the train, they will ask the report, right? They will ask the printout, right? That is called report. For example, client will ask. For example, client will ask suppliers is there. Suppliers, how many invoices created? For that supplier belongs to which business unit? Like that, I would like to print the report. So employees last 30 days, who has resigned? The data I want to see. I want to send to the auditing company. I want to send to my bank. Whoever are resigned 30 days, that data I want to send to the one of the company, bank people. What kind of requirements will come in the coming days? Okay. Okay. So till here, any questions, guys? Okay. So now, I will tell you guys in the report how the output will be. How the output of the report. OP means output, guys. OP means output. How the output of the report. Consider the example. Consider the example. So we purchase the Dell laptop. So they will give the invoice like this. Invoice number. Invoice D. First one. Invoice number something like A1234. Invoice date 31st 12 2024. Customer name something. and here line number. Description, line number, item description, quantity, price, total price. Line number 1, item description, laptop, quantity 1, price 30,000, total price 30,000. 2, mouse, 3 mouses, price 40,000, 500, total price 1,500. Keyboard 4, 4,000. So in the report, so this is called columns. So this is the data. Columns, and this is the data. Columns, data. So this is the data, this is the data, this is the columns. So for example, so this is my invoice. So this is my invoice. For example, if you go to the Dell showroom, you purchase some laptop. These columns are same for every report. These columns are same for every report. Data will be changed. Remember this point. So if you go to Dell showroom, I will go to Dell showroom, other people will go to Dell showroom. So this format is same. That means column names are same. These column names are same. Data will be different based on your purchasing the items from the Dell showroom. Based on your purchasing the items, the data will be changed. So now you understand what is meant by columns and what is meant by data. Anything clarification required?
Teacher.
Okay, very good. Very good. So now, so this data, where we will get? This data is there, right? So when they create the invoice or when they create the bill, they have a front end screen will be there. So the front end screen example in our case, Oracle Fusion is the front end screen. Oracle Fusion is the front end screen.
ನನ್ನ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗೋದು
Front end screen. In our case. And end user will enter the data. User will enter the data in the front end.
నువ్వు చెప్పిన పని తప్ప అన్నీ చేస్తుంది
Fusion screen.
తప్ప అన్నీ చేస్తుంది నువ్వు అది చెయ్యొద్దు అంటే అదే చేస్తుంది నువ్వు అన్నీ చూసుకొని నీకు కావాల్సిన పని
So what will happen is when we enter the data in the Oracle Fusion front end, what will happen? Do you know right, when we enter the user creation screen, when we enter the data in the user creation screen, so what will happen? When you press the save and close, what will happen? The data will be saved into where? No, the data will be saved
per user.
For user, for users case, per underscore users, the data will be saved into tables. For user screen, the data will be stored into per underscore users. Same like for invoices case. Invoices tables are different. For user screen, per underscore users. For invoices, some different table will be there. Like that, we need to identify the tables and create the report. So after the data saved from the front end to back end, so it may be different tables will be there. The different tables we have to find out and create the report. Understand or not? Clear. Example, you consider the example user screen. When you enter the data stored into per underscore users. Same like we have invoice screen, receipt screen, bill screen, billing screen. You remember billing screen is there, right? Receipt creation screen, billing screen will be there. So every screen behind that some tables will be there. So the data will be saved into tables. So once the data has saved into tables, technical consultant responsibility is to bring the report in this format. So this format, who will give? Client will give. How you want to look and feel of the report? How you want the look and feel of the report? That will give by who? Client. Client will give. Client will send the requirement document. So based on that, you need to develop the report. Understand or not?
Okay, understand.
Okay. So first of all, what is meant by columns and what is meant by data, I will show you in the Fusion. So if you go, this is the front end, guys. So this is the front end. So back end, you know, right, how to connect tools. Browse catalog. Create data model. Select start from. Just example, I'm taking per underscore users table. SCM users data. Go to the data. So this is the column names and this is the data. So you may ask the question. So this is the one customer data, right? This is one customer data. So now if you see, this is the all data is there now. For example, if you see, it is coming all the data. To get only for specific record data, what you will do, guys, in the query?
Condition. Where condition?
Where condition we need to write. We need to write the where condition. So that and all, I think SQL, when SQL started, we will do the training for the in-depth training for the SQL. I already shown, right, how to get the single record and how to get the specific all the data in the classes, starting of the classes. Remember or not? So now coming to the okay. Okay, so now you understand, right, what is mean by column and what is mean by data. So this is the column names. This is the data. So based on our requirement, we need to prepare the query and bring the data. So this is about the report introduction, guys. Coming to the why we have this many reporting tools are there. So this, I have explained about the report importance, and I have explained about the columns and data. And client will not give all the report columns in the. So the columns, whatever it is there in the table, right? They will ask only for few columns to display in the report. They will ask only few columns to be displayed in the report. That you can get from the client. Client means who will give the requirement to you. Who will give the requirement to you? Okay. So coming to the why we have this many reporting tools are there. Why we have this many reporting tools are there. So consider the example. Let's say for example, we have a television you can take. So how many television companies are there?
Samsung.
LG.
Samsung, Sony.
TCL.
OnePlus also there, no?
MI.
OnePlus, TCL, MI,
etc.
Redmi.
Yeah, etc. So why we have this many companies are there? Why not only one?
Changes in the specifications and features.
Features will be different, right?
Yes.
Features will be different. For example, some people will mostly prefer on Sony TV because Sony TV have a
Yeah,
more
everybody
features.
has their own development, so and their own design. So
Their own, their own.
each product has some unique features, but also there is slight difference. Also, it is there.
Yeah. So based on the people requirement, they will choose this television purchase, right? Same way. So why we have this many reporting tools are there? Client will tell the different requirements. So whatever the client will give the requirement, that requirement matches which reporting tool. The requirement matches which reporting tool. So that we need to decide before we start the report development. So that is what we have. This many reporting tools are there. So when someone will ask you in interview, so why we have this many reporting tools? Why not only one reporting tool? So what is the answer you can tell? So client requirements are different. Some requirements will not fulfill OTBI. Some requirements will not fulfill BIP. Some requirements will not fulfill HCM extract. So the client has given the requirement. That requirement will fulfill BIP. Then you can go with the BIP. The client requirement matches with the OTBI. Then you can go with the OTBI reporting tool. So based on the client requirement, which given from the client side people, then you have to choose your reporting tool for report development. Understand or not?
Understand, sir.
Very good. So why we have this many reporting tools? You understand, right? Okay. So now guys, so far what we have discussed, I explained about the purpose of the report, what do you mean by column, what do you mean by data, and how many types of reporting tools available in the Oracle Fusion. But in our classes, we are going to cover these 3 reporting tools. So these 3 only we are going to show in the resume. First reporting tool we are going to discuss OTBI reports. OTBI reports we are going to discuss first reporting tool. So what is the abbreviation Oracle Transactional Business Intelligence? Oracle Transactional Business Intelligence is the abbreviation of the OTBI. So now guys here, for OTBI, Oracle given subject areas. So in the subject areas, I told you, right, the data is stored into some tables. So these subject areas behind that queries will be there. The subject area behind that SQL queries will be there. SQL queries will be there. That means we no need to touch this SQL queries. So we have to deal with the subject areas. We have to deal with the subject areas. So like we have invoice subject area, purchase order subject area, employee subject area, like that we have a subject areas are there. Around 100 plus subject areas are there. Around plus subject areas are. So whatever the query behind that subject area, we no need to worry about that. How the query has written, we know how the query has written, what columns are there in the query. So that and all we no need to worry about that. So our main thing is find out the subject area and create the report. So you have to understand for every subject area behind that SQL queries will be there. For every subject area behind that SQL queries will be there. So how the subject area in the subject area we have a subject area, it will be like this. First subject area, then we have a folders, then after that we have a columns, then data. So these columns from the subject area will be coming from where? From these queries. These queries who developed, already developed by Oracle. In the product itself, this query is already there. Actually, we will not see any queries behind the subject area. We will not see any query behind the subject area. We will see only subject area, subject areas. Remember this point. So whatever the query has written by Oracle, so we no need to check. We are not going to check anything for the query related. So we will our main thing is subject area. These queries we cannot modify also. Whatever the queries given by Oracle, based on the queries which built by subject areas, based on the queries which built by subject areas, we are not going to modify, and Oracle also will not allow to modify here. This is the standard. We cannot modify, we cannot touch here. Only for concentration, our goal is find out the subject areas, take the column names, what client has given, and then build the report. I'm telling you internally what happened for the subject areas. So how we can verify how many subject areas are there? So let me, I'll show you. If you go
Vamshi,
to, yeah,
these reports can be applied to FSCM, HCM
all,
also.
yeah, every module. Yeah, that is our next point. I will tell you that. That is our main next point. The subject areas available, the subject areas available, the subject areas available in HCM, FSCM module. Both modules available. So if you go to the create analysis, if I click the create analysis, it will show the list of subject areas. It will show the list of subject areas. It will show you the list of subject areas. So when we press the create analysis, sometime it will take time, sometime it will immediately display. It will take minimum 1 minute time like that. to display the list of subject areas based on the instance performance. So based on the instance performance, the list of subject areas will show here. So these are the subject area names. So this every subject area, so this is just, for example, options management, benefits, like that. We have invoice also there. If you search here, invoice subject areas will be displayed. Employees work.
Vamsi, can you repeat the path once?
It is simple only. Go to the tools, reports and analytics. Tools, reports and analytics. Browse catalog. Browse catalog. Browse catalog. Create analysis. The list of subject area names. Understand, right? OTBI report navigation. OTBI report navigation. Tools.
Vamsi, one doubt. For OTBA reports, the data will be automatically there in that tables, no? Will extract the data from the tables, right?
Correct. That is the reason. See, I already told you now, you remember this point. So when we enter the data in the front end, the data will be saved into tables, right?
Yes.
The tables only there in the SQL queries here. So anyway, the data saved into table, right? So based on these queries only, they have prepared the subject areas. So our goal is what? This subject area, based on the subject area only, we are going to add the columns in the report.
Okay. Thank you.
Browse catalog. Tools, browse catalog. Tools, reports and analytics. Browse catalog. Tools, reports and analytics. Browse catalog. Browse catalog. Show the list of subject areas. So this is a navigation for the OTBI. So till here, any question you can ask me, guys. Okay. So now, here the subject area will be there. Subject area, then folders, then columns and data. But directly, if you look at the table, first table will be there. Columns and data. But there is a concept called folders. You correlate this one in the Oracle database. So this is the Oracle database. This you can say as OTBI structure. So this is the Oracle database structure. OTBI structure, and this is the Oracle database structure. So first of all, you have to understand what I mean by folders. Consider the example. So I will take one of the invoice subject area.
So Vamshi, so client will give the requirement based on this subject area, or
Client will give only column names. We need to find out the subject area suitable for our what are the columns given by client. Client will not tell area name.
how will find the report is EVA or BIP? How can we find the requirement?
Question not clear.
Actually, for creating the OT, what is the difference between OTA, ABI and BIP reports? If some one report,
That and all
how we know that is
okay. So that and all you will come to know once we develop the BIP and OTBI. You only will tell the differences. So I think very early to discuss on that, but that is a very important interview question also. So in which situation will go for the OTBI, in which situation will go for the BIP. So you will get the answer after completion of this all the reporting tools classes. You only will tell the answer.
Okay. Okay.
Don't worry. That is the important, most important interview question also. You will understand in a while. So I selected the one of the subject area. I selected one of the subject area. See, I told you, no? This is the subject area name, and this is the folder names. So this is the folder names. Subject area, folders. So under the folders, columns will be there. These are the columns. So first subject area, folders, columns, then data will come here. So we need to drag and drop the columns in the. So this is the development of the report that we will see. Don't worry. So we are discussing only theoretical part today. So tomorrow we'll see one example how to create the report. So here, one thing you have to understand, two types of folders are there. Interview question. Two types of folders are there. One is two types of folders are there. Two types of folders are there. Dimensional folder, fact folders. Two types of folders are there, dimensional folder and fact folders. Dimensional folder and fact folders. So what is the difference between dimensional folder and fact folders? Actual columns. You know actual columns? Calculated columns. Actual columns and calculated columns. Anyone know? I will tell you. For example, I have employee table. Employee table, first name, last name. Employee table, they have again first name, last name, salary. Employee table, they have again first name, last name, salary. But there is no full name column. Job, department. But in the report, in the report, client expectation is full name to be displayed. So what you write the select statement, you write like this. First underscore name, last underscore name. So here first name and last name is what? Actual column.
It is concatenation. Concatenation.
No. First name and last name are actual columns.
Yeah.
Full name is what?
Is calculated column.
Calculated column. So this is not actual column from the table.
We are creating it.
We are creating based on our requirement.
Yes, sure.
So that is called calculated columns. Understand or not what is meant by actual columns and what is meant by calculated columns. So in the subject areas, Oracle given actual columns and in the query, I told you, right, in the subject area behind that some queries will be there, right? So in the query,
Yeah.
they have done some calculated columns also. So based on the existing column, they have created some calculated columns also. That is called fact folders. Fact folders contains calculated columns, only calculated columns, and some actual columns also will be there. Actual columns also will be there. Dimensional folder contains only actual columns. Fact folder contains only calculated columns and some actual columns also will be there. Dimensional folders contain only actual columns. How you know that which is fact folder, which is dimensional folder? That I will tell you. So the symbol is there, this is dimensional symbol, right? Hello. If you observe, this is dimensional, right?
Yes.
So this time, see, if you look at the business unit contains all the columns are dimensional columns. So this is called dimensional folder. So business unit is the dimensional folder. And if you look at the invoice details, if you go to invoice amounts, this is called calculated column. This orange color symbol is there, na? So this is called calculated column. Calculated column. So now you tell me, guys, invoice amounts contain calculated columns and dimensional columns. Combination of calculated and dimensional column called as what? Fact folder.
Vamshi, can you repeat it?
So the thing is, contains only calculated columns. Combination of calculated and combination of calculated and actual also will be there. Understand or not? Combination of calculated and actual also will be there. That is called fact folder. Only calculated columns called as only calculated columns will be there. Combination also will be there. Only actual columns we can say dimensional folder. So you see these 2 points, guys. You will understand.
Yeah, but in fact folders, there will be no actual columns, huh?
I told you now here. Combination of calculated and actual columns will be there. See, in the fact folder, this is the fact folder. Calculated columns are there and dimension also there.
Okay.
So in some folders, fact folders, only this calculated columns also will be there.
Fact
No,
folder is only related to price or anything.
not only price, something I told you now, some concatenation, something I told you, right? Full name and first name. That is not price, right? I told you, right? Example, first name, last name. This one. But as a developer, you have to understand, guys. You don't go for high level, guys. Don't go for high level. Just the symbol indicates calculated column, guys. So the symbol indicates actual column. Both are there in one folder. You can say fact folder. If there is no calculated columns, only dimensional columns are there. Then that is called dimensional folder. Like that you can remember. Understand or I'm confused? You see these 2 points, guys. Symbol different. Actual column symbol is different. Symbol is different. Symbol is different. Here the symbol is different. So I cannot put the screenshot. That is the reason I mentioned symbol is different. Dimensional symbol. Here, orange color symbol. Understand or not? I will tell you one more example, guys. Let's say in our invoice table is there. Example I'm telling you. Invoice table, we have invoice amount is there. Invoice amount column is there. And paid invoice amount column also there. Invoice amount is there, paid invoice amount is there. But my client is telling that print the actual invoice amount. Print the actual invoice amount. So print the actual invoice amount. Print the actual invoice amount. Print the actual invoice amount. So actual invoice amount equal to invoice amount minus paid invoice amount. Invoice amount minus paid invoice amount. That means you tell me guys in this whole scenario which is calculated column and which is actual columns.
Invoice amount column and paid invoice amount are actual columns. Actual invoice amount is a calculated one.
Yeah, correct. So these two are actual columns from the table. This actual invoice amount is what? Calculated columns from the existing columns, existing table columns. So that calculated columns also, that calculated columns we have to call as fact folders or fact columns. Dimensional folders or dimensional columns called as dimensional folder. Hope you understand, right? So this is the introduction of the OTBA, guys. Tomorrow we'll see one simple report development using OTBA. So while we create the report, so we will face some issues for the data. So that time we will understand how the security concepts will be useful for this report development. So yesterday you asked, right, how we can use these security concepts in the real time. So while you develop the report, you will understand like how